Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now today is the third day of mass action in this country, where Raila Odinga has promised Kenyans and William Ruto's government that we are going to have the mother of all demonstrations. So he should prepare for this, and from here I think he's going to give another big announcement on way forward, because they are very focused on what they are looking for. And in as much all this is happening, we are seeing how William Ruto and his allies are responding so much casually on this issue. For example, the response from Gachagua on the welfare of Raila Odinga in terms of his health, the issue to do with the response from someone like Ndindi Nyoro on what he was saying. Cherargei, look at Aaron Cheriot, go and check on Moses Kuria. Even William Ruto himself in his response to what mass action, it is not making sense, and the international media has been carefully following. They understand the resource on the ground, and they are exposing William Ruto and his regime as far as this issue is concerned. Because these things are being shared on Al Jazeera, BBC, CNN, Voice of America, and other international medias. They are reporting very clear the issue to do with police brutality during demonstration. They are also reporting about how schools have been affected during a demonstration. They are also reporting about how school children are being tear-gassed by police officers during a demonstration. So this shows how police are targeting young children going to school. Look at that. They are also reporting the reason why Kenyans are on the street demonstrating. So in as much Ruto will try to divert that attention to other things, it is not making sense, and even the international media have been able to capture the real reason why people are on the street. How many people are being, how many people have lost their life during the demonstration, how many people have been arrested, and police brutality during this time. This is international media. Look at that. So with all this, Ruto has tried every means possible to divert the attention to look like, no, it is a different thing that is making people to be on the street fighting for an individual with a political interest. It has refused to sell. The media is not capturing that. They are capturing what the people are saying on the ground. Ruto is totally exposed. And I want us to go through some of the tweets from those international medias, but just a quick request before we go there. For those who are watching and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning members, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. Now, these are some of the tweets they are sharing here. And in those tweets, if you open, they are sharing a story. If you read the story, you will understand deeply how they are well aware on what is happening on the ground, because again, they are interviewing the people on the ground who are demonstrating. This is Voice of America. This is what they are saying. Opposition supporters gather as they chant slogans against the Kenyan government during protest against the high cost of living in Nairobi, Kenya. That's July 19, 2023. You can see the kind of photo they are sharing there. A photo can explain so many things. So in this photo, you can get to see, we are seeing people are crying. They are crying why? High cost of living. So this is the image that has been captured, and it has a message. The photo itself has a message to the world. You go to CNN, this is what they're saying. The United Nations said it was very concerned about the widespread use of violence by police against protesters in Kenya after clashes against tax hikes reportedly turned deadly. There is one image they captured in Mlolongo on a way bridge, and you can see exactly everything is burning. And the United Nations was also communicating. That is the image of Kenya. Violence by police, and it is widespread. So when you talk about police and violence, it goes to the government itself. That is the image of Kenya. Another one here, Al Jazeera, English. Kenya's opposition plan a second day of protest over the high cost of living and the tax hikes after police clashes with the demonstrators and arrested over 300 people. So Al Jazeera is giving even a figure of the number of people who have been arrested. 300. Why? High cost of living. The price is hiking. So, and you can see the kind of image they are sharing there. It tells you the problem in Kenya. It is real, it is deep. They are mentioning police. Why are they mentioning police? How police have been able to mishandle protest. Back again to to BBC, they are sharing here also. Kenya demonstrators, I feel betrayed by William Ruto. Now, this one was a taxi driver who was interviewed by BBC, and he was trying to narrate how the high cost of living is costing his business. In fact, he's saying that he's a taxi driver, as I said. He's saying that when he go to the road, the only money he's getting is able to sustain the car to be on the road. That means there is nothing he's earning here to maybe do some saving or kulisha jamii. He cannot. So the money is only enough to sustain the car on the road. He is even narrating that he has been unable to pay the school fees for his daughter in high school. Wewe ni taxi driver, lakini pesa unapata haikuwezesha hata kulipia mtoto wako school fees shuleni. So look at that. Ile pesa unapata tu inatosheleza kuweka gari kwa barabara for maintenance na kuweka mafuta ndani. Period. That means in it, the taxi driver is confirming to the BBC News that he is literally working for the government, because it is all after the government is putting high taxes. So it is ending up in taxes. You go to fuel, ukuja kwa barabara, ukuja kwa maintenance, ni tax tupu. So at the end of the day, he has nothing to take back home. So he feel betrayed. And this might have been William Ruto's, someone who voted for William Ruto in the previous election. So you can't say you are betrayed by Ruto if you do not vote for him. That means Al Jazeera, BBC was interviewing someone who voted for William Ruto and the reason why he's on the road protesting. Again in BBC, another tweet they did here. Schools in Kenya's capital, Nairobi and Mombasa have shut down following escalating violence during nationwide cost of living protest. They are capturing there very well the reason why people are on the street. Last week, 14 people died and more than 50 school children were tear-gassed by police while in their classrooms. BBC is doing the Lord's work to report exactly what is happening on the ground. Why are the people on the street demonstrating? High cost of living. Then he's talking about school-going children being affected. The schools in Mombasa and Nairobi were shut down. Why? Because there is protest going on about high cost of living. So they're reporting exactly what is happening. No sugarcoating on anything. Giving the message as the way it is. This is a raw message. And they are explaining they are also reporting what happened last week. Last week, how many people? 14 people died. And more than 50 school children tear-gassed. Why did the people die? Because they were telling the government we are hungry. And the government was responding by a bullet. So because you complain you are hungry, you meet a bullet. Now, the worst here is school children being tear gassed. They are saying how many? 50. They were tear gassed by police officers in classroom. That is BBC. This is the face of Kenya. I'm telling you, with all this, it is showing how William Ruto cannot safeguard our children. He is failing as a president. With all this kind of information spreading on the international house rooms, tell me what kind of image is being painted about Kenya Kwanza government. Ruto is leading a failed government. It means he is oppressing Kenya. That's why they are on the street crying about high cost of living. The Finance Act is the poison, and it has made people to be on the street. He has to deal with that one. If there is anyone interested in coming to invest in Kenya, then you hear about high cost of living. You hear about demonstration. You hear about 14 people being killed. You hear about 300 people being arrested. You hear about school-going children being tear-gassed. You hear about children in classroom being tear-gassed by police. Kuna amani kwa hiyo nchi? Kama ulikuwa na mpango ya biashara, hauwezi enda kufanya Kenya biyo biashara. You cannot. You can't go that direction. And that is where William Ruto has placed this country. Investors are going to run away. Even those who are here are not comfortable. Usikie vile taxi driver anasema ya kwamba all that is working for is to maintain his car to be on the road. Hiyo inaambia nini investor? Hata kama ulikuwa na mpango ya kuja, utakuja kufanyia serikali kazi so that they earn and you become the biggest loser. You don't make profit in your business, but the government is making profit out of your business. Sasa tumekuwa na tenderpreneurs hapa. They are targeting to earn from your business. So Ruto want to milk Kenyans dry. The international media is inamulika yeye. Wako tu wanamulika yeye. Hata akisonga huko wanamulika. They are bringing the real image of William Ruto and his regime and what Kenyans are going through. So Ruto exposed in a international media. The world has known what is happening in Kenya. He's trying to change the narrative to look like there is a war between him and Raila and Uhuru Kenyatta. And it's all about a handshake. Kwa nini in the international media, there's nowhere Al Jazeera, CNN, BBC, Voice of Africa is reporting about Azimio or Kenya Kwanza or opposition looking for a handshake. Hawajasema hiyo mahali popote. They are saying cost of living. Hii mambo ingine yote yenye Ruto amesema na Gachagua na Kindiki na watu wote wa Kenya Kwanza haijaka, now it has been captured here. Hawajasema hiyo. They know the problem. So in as much Ruto would want to change the conversation to something else, to divert the attention, imekataa. They are talking about the real thing that is pushing Kenyans to be on the street, period. Sort out the problem. Otherwise, you are the shame of Kenya. The government has become the shame of Kenya.